You know that feeling that you get when you're surrounded by people but feel absolutely alone? Do you know what it's like to be 7 years old and wake up alone on Christmas? Countless meals by yourself, holidays, sport meets, science fairs, high school graduation. No one there to be with you other than the people your family hired. And even then, they keep their distance. So then, you surround yourself with people to dull your pain, loneliness. You never wanted to be alone for a single second, so you turn yourself into those you surround yourself with to feel wanted, needed, to feel something other than a dark void of anger, sadness, isolation. So when your parents tell you what sport to play, you don't object. Maybe they might come. You never say no to a science fair. After all, they're scientists and they might be interested in what you present. When they say what major and job you're going to get, you keep on going because, after all, they're talking to you. Your friends don't know how you feel because you know that if you tell them how you feel, they're going to leave. Your friends act like they care, but you know when you leave, they feel relieved. They no longer have to keep up the charade of liking you. They can use the words you tell yourself since they know it's true too. You date guys to feel some form of validation that you're enough. Even if you aren't happy with them, you manage to find someone else to replace them just as easily as before. Could be worse though. You aren't getting abused by those around you. So why do you feel the way that you do? Why? Why on God's green earth do you have anything to feel depressed about? You're nothing. You're nothing. Sad and pathetic. People out there have it worse than you, and yet you think you have it bad, because that is what the cards intended. Your constant parasitic need for attention causes people to not want to be near you. And yet you run faster towards them, twisting yourself into someone you can't even recognize anymore, creating an image of yourself to show the world. And when you get home, you feel raw. This isn't how you pictured your life. You wanted more, but you don't deserve more. You deserve that fake life you made for yourself. You would much rather be surrounded by fake people than being what you fear most. Alone.
And a one, and a two, and a hello, everyone. And welcome to part 2 of our finale to the Dreamscape arc.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the Dreamscape is coming to an end.
Oh my God.
Yep.
If you guys are listening to this, I'm being held here against my will. I don't know where I am. I don't know what time it is. I haven't been fed in 2 hours.
Wow, you really lost track of times. It's been close to 6.
I haven't eaten in over 24 hours.
Oh.
Intermittent fasting sucks. Don't do it. It's a trap.
It does suck. All right. But you guys listened to Allie's episode last week. I hope you have recovered. I do apologize, but I am going to do it again.
No. I gave you the happy version. I gave you happy fun time.
And I took notes.
No.
All right. So, where we begin, where we left off, you had joined your fellow heroes in taking on the rogue Dreamweavers as they came toward the capital. You manage to block their flight path with a wall of water, sending them cascading toward the ground. And the last thing you remember is River confronting Dimitri and Dimitri snapping his fingers. The dreamscape faded before your eyes.
Yep.
You open your eyes. You hear the pounding music in your ears before you open your eyes. It sounds familiar. Familiar sounds, people laughing, the sounds of people dancing on the nearby bartender flipping drinks around. You open your eyes and you are in a nightclub. It's one you're familiar with. It's a campus nightclub. One very close to Adam and Eve University.
All right. That
One
college town vibe.
Yeah. It's familiar. You see a lot of familiar faces, some of whom you've passed in the halls of the university, some of whom are classmates, and others are acquaintances or friends. And what are you doing?
Okay, first of all, do I remember anything about previous? Because I know for when I was in Nightmare Dreamscape, it was instantaneous, couldn't remember anything.
Mm-hmm. Give me a will save. We'll see how much control you have.
Okay. I got a 10 plus 8, 18.
Okay. You seem to be fairly in control right now. You kind of recognize that this is a dream. You recognize that this isn't real, that you do remember everything up until this point.
Okay, do I see the red ball? Because that's my cue of you're dreaming. Since she's been training her. She's been training herself.
Okay. You do see in a guy's hand, he's spinning around this little red ball in his hand.
Okay, perfect.
And that is your cue to, this isn't real. Okay. So.
All right.
What are you doing?
I imagine, since I don't really know where I am, I'm going to try to, I do know where I am, but, my first thought is get to the exit and find my friends.
Okay. You start pushing your way through the crowd. Typical Remi fashion, pardon me, pushing your way through. And you hear a couple of familiar voices as you push through. Oh my God, Remi! And you turn, you see Izzy and Gina.
No, James.
Pushing their way through to you. Izzy comes over and gives you a big hug. Gina kind of hangs back a little bit. Oh my God, I can't believe you made it.
I want to be clear. This is one of those awkward hugs where the person hugs you, but you don't hug back.
Right.
Because last she spoke with Gina, she basically told her bitch bye, and Izzy just never talked to her again.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, she's very confused.
Mm-hmm.
She's I think essentially I'm gonna say, you guys don't hate me?
No, why would we hate you? I mean, we just finished finals. We're partying, right?
What month is it?
It's June, silly.
Even though I know she has controls, I'm playing to her. Yeah, but like it was just like March. How could it be June?
Oh, obviously you've had too much to drink, and obviously not enough at the same time. So let's get you a drink.
No thanks. I'll be fine. I'm taking, a cleanse. I'm doing one of those juice cleanses. I'm only supposed to be drinking smoothies and prune juice for the next 7 days.
Gina steps up. Oh, come on, Izzy. She's on one of her kicks where she doesn't drink.
God. I know she's my friend, but I don't fucking like her right now.
Come on, at least hang out with us. You don't have to drink. Just, you'll be our DD or whatever.
Okay, but have you seen, like, and I sort of, like, use my arm to, like, gauge how tall I remember Oswald to be. Like, have you seen a dude about yay high, likes to wear sweatshirts and sweatpants, with about, and then I lower my arm super low to about shades height, with a chick who's got, what does she have, dyed pink hair now?
It's blonde.
Blonde, girl with like dyed blonde hair, kind of goth looking, but pulls it off.
Shade is a natural blonde.
So, natural blonde? Okay, I just knew you said that she dyed her hair a bunch, so I wasn't sure if she was a natural blonde.
Yeah, she's a natural blonde.
Okay, so natural blonde about yay high and goth but pulls it off, and a girl, and I go a little bit lower, and a girl named brain fart. A girl named River, and she definitely more punky, garage band, grunge kind of vibe, but most definitely has a sense of style, but I'm not going to admit it to her face.
Considering this is a college party, they turn and they point out like 3 people who match Oswald's description, couple people who match shades, but they haven't seen anybody who looks like River.
And they act kind of weird and, like, not like how normal people act. They're all sort of like, ah, all the time.
They look at each other, shrug, look back. No. You're acting really weird. Are those like classmates of yours? Are those new friends? Are you replacing us?
No. I'd never replace you. I just met them on a group project, at the internship that I'm trying to get over at Astoria Cybertech.
Oh, you're still going for that? I thought you had it in the bag.
Well, I always gotta try, and, it's better than attempting to get the shoe in at my daddy's lab, and, just trying to make it a little bit easier for myself.
Oh, I'm sure they'll show up somewhere. Now, come on, let's have some fun.
All right, so she reluctantly goes but keeps her head on a swivel and is essentially going to try to find like she's going to placate them, but then is going to find her chance to like scoot when she has the chance. Like that's essentially like she's looking for an opening.
Okay. You follow them and they kind of take you to a place off the dance floor. Izzy signals to the bartender, and a couple minutes later, guy comes over with 3 drinks, puts them down in front of you, but all 3 brightly colored, and Izzy, without any hesitation, just chugs half of hers. Gina's a little bit more reserved, just takes a sip.
I slide mine towards Izzy because I know she's going to drink it. super fast.
So, like, have you heard from Warren?
Would I have my phone?
Yes, actually.
Okay. I'd be like, no, not in like a hot second, and then instinctually goes to like check her phone and knows for a fact that since she has control, will then try to text like people from the real world, like River, Oswald's, Shade, Rodney Hood. Like she would obviously know what their numbers were.
Right. Well, one, River wouldn't have a phone.
Well, yeah, but if she had a phone, like she's going through the list of people.
Right.
And then weirdly texting her dad. And then as she like pops open the messages from her dad, it's like messages that he sends her of like attempts to like send what he thinks are hilarious memes and gifs. And she's like, LOL in all lowercase.
Oh, yeah. One thing you do notice as you're going through your text messages, you do see a message from your mom.
That's new. Okay.
Dated June 3rd. And you know, based on dream time, based on what Izzy just told you, that was probably a day or so ago.
Okay. I open it.
You open it, and it's nothing really out of the ordinary. It's out of the ordinary enough because you know her to be dead, but it's casual conversation. Like, hey, so we're setting up your room. Is there anything you want? Is there anything special you want? What do you want for dinner when you come home? Things like that.
Okay. So then I close out of that message thread and I immediately start going through my phone to see anything odd, like any extra apps, anything that might tell me like, oh, this might be the escape is through my phone because technology is an escape. Ha ha ha.
Nothing really out of the ordinary aside from those few texts. A lot of text threads that you don't recognize, but they're all dated within the last day or so, within the same time frame. The group conversation with Izzy and Gina, if you go back far enough, you'll see that the conversation that you had previously never happened.
Oh.
And you do see continuous conversation with Warren as well.
Okay, so now that I see that the text, like the side group chat with us has that time where I was messaging them disappeared, I immediately want to look up the news, like on the news, like mutant attack, blah, 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 like keywords that would tie into the attack on the lower district and the middle district.
Nothing out of the ordinary. The news pretty much leaves the lower district out of it. The attack on the middle district, you can't find anything. Like the bridge collapse, anything like that, you can't find anything.
Okay. So then I immediately, like, I guess just casually put my phone away, but I want to sneak like a peek at the messages from Warren because I am a horrible podcast listener and still haven't listened to that episode where you guys meet Warren. And I don't know what he said about me.
So the text conversation with Warren seems normal as well.
Okay.
Like normal as if this timeline had happened. Like you guys haven't been out of touch. You guys still text back and forth, but it's very sweet and romantic and a little bittersweet at the same time. Yeah, the last text that he sent you was,
please don't tell me it's a dick pic.
No. It was dated. It's the most recent text that you have saying, "Where are you?"
I feel like instinctually she messages like at XYZ club, whatever the fuck it's called, and then casually puts it away. Like just like rote memory. Like she doesn't mean to do it, but it just happens. Yeah. And then she's gonna like look at her friends and say, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Y'all don't need to follow me. I'm fine. But I just need to go take a, and then like makes like the hand signal that they've made up for poop.
Okay.
Girls follow to pee. Girls don't follow to poop.
They understand. Gina nods. Izzy's barely paying attention. She's caught the eye of a guy at the bar.
Okay,
so
and then
she's gone.
I look at Gina and I do the hand signal for don't let her do a mistake she doesn't mean to do in the morning.
Gina nods. So you make your way to the bathroom.
And then I immediately head towards the front door.
Okay.
Like I act like I'm going towards the bathroom. And then I guess when I'm like halfway into the crowd and it disappeared, just, start going right towards that door.
Mm-hmm. You make your way to the front door without any issue. You push your way through the swinging double doors into kind of a coat room. Mm-hmm. And the room's empty, surprisingly. It's a spacious area. There's a counter off to the side. You see another set of doors leading outside. A line of coats in the room behind the counter. And then after a second, you notice the hooded figure standing in the middle of the room.
Let's go. Oh, hello.
The hooded figure lets down her hood, and you see a statuesque looking silver-haired woman with gray eyes and stone-faced.
Is this like what's her face? Does she look like what's her face? What's her name? Aaliyah, I think her name was.
I don't know.
The chick from before who was in. Oh yeah, Aaliyah, the goddess-looking chick that I like instantaneously fell in love with because her fashion was on point. She was like the chick who was with Lucian. Like, I'm wondering if they look the same.
They look similar. But the woman standing in front of you, her hair is a few shades lighter. Instead of it's like a platinum blonde, gray eyes. But they do look similar enough that you kind of get the feeling they might be related.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
And just like, you must be the rogue Dreamweaver. I'm supposed to kick their ass, right?
What's the matter, Remi? Don't like the dream?
Dream's fine. I just for reality, I guess. Because, this is all a little bit too fake.
This is your life as it would have been. Had your life not changed that night?
Okay, cool. Your point.
So, this is a glimpse into an alternate future. Are you saying that your life was fake?
She's honest to God, like, cat's got her tongue. She's like, well, I wouldn't say fake. And she's trying to come up with like a good comeback, but it's like honest to God, like smacked with the truth, like a big old mollywop.
This is the life that you craved for so long, and yet you don't want it?
If you got one thing right about me, my parents kept a very messy life. As you could tell by if I went home right now and their house was absolutely spotless, you would have missed that. But I am starting to come to terms with the fact that life is fucking messy.
Oh, well done. You have it all figured out, don't you?
Okay, James. While she's doing this, I imagine she has like her hands behind her back, just like a military stance almost, but not like a military stance, but like how like they have their hands behind their back, like casually. I imagine Remi's trying to like pull water towards her and like try to use it in case this chick's about to attack her.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check real quick.
Okay. Well, my intellect is up. Yeah. 14 plus 5, that equals 19, baby.
Okay. You kind of will a couple barrels of water to appear in the room.
Ooh.
And the water starts to pool towards your hands.
And as she like mentions like the whole like, oh, you've got everything figured out, ho, 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 evil laugh. I'd be like, yeah, I guess I have everything figured out because this is my dream and you don't belong here. And then I whip her.
Okay. Give me an attack.
Okay. Yeah. That is a 15 plus 6, 21. I love this cursed dice Allie sent me.
That is a hit. You shoot out a long strand of water, a long tentacle of water, and it just smacks her across the face. You see her go from a tight military stance to she's suddenly staggered, looking down to the side, and you see a thin bead of blood drip down her cheek. She slowly looks to you. So, this is how we shall play. And she...
Oh my God, if you tell me that she throws water back at me, I'm going to be so in love with her.
No. I need you to give me a will save.
A will save. Ooh, is this another Xander?
Give me a will save.
That was not good. That was a 7 plus 8, 15.
Okay.
That was not good. I'm treating you out. Doing this one.
Your water barrels vanish.
Ah! Do I still have a little bit of water?
A little bit.
Okay.
But the room disappears.
Ooh.
You're back. The room fades, and as the scene comes back to you, you're now standing in your parents' lab.
Fuck you.
You feel tears have rolled down your face. As you look down, and you see your mother's body, fresh with the wound that was inflicted to her the night she died. And you see next to her your father's body.
Ooh.
Also bleeding from the abdomen, like from the nightmare you had had a few days prior. You want reality? I'll give you reality. The hooded woman is standing on the other side of kind of like an island where all of your parents' instruments were. You do see the scattered bodies of the assault team that had been sent to your house, the ones that you had generally killed off.
Yep. Is there any leftover acid, James? Because I'm feeling like burning a bitch.
So, yep. There is some liquid on the floor that you can use.
James, no, this is not how I wanted it to happen!
Mm-hmm.
James! Why would you let me become a bloodbender at the worst time? Fuck you.
Dimitri said when next time that you guys meet, he wasn't playing fair.
Well, I guess I'm about to fucking go ape shit. Is it my turn, James?
Go for it.
All right. How much blood is technically in the human body, James?
I don't know. Google how much blood is in the human body.
All right. I'm about to fucking Google how much blood is in the human body.
1.5 gallons.
1.5 gallons. Is that for the average person?
That's for an average person.
Okay. Well, is there any acid in the room too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I would like to combine the acid in the blood. So imagine, like, she sees this, and as she has the tears, at first they're sad tears, and then they start to turn into angry tears, and then it turns into, like, when Katara was first going up against Amma, and, like, I imagine, like, she sees the acid start to rise up first, and then she sees the blood begin to rise up, and then she's just like, you want to play dirty? I'll play dirty. And then full on, however many gallons this is, just straight up water cannon her ass, like blast her up against the closest wall.
Okay. Give me a dex save, or give me a ranged attack.
All right.
Give me your water cannon.
Natural fucking 20!
All right. So you hit square in the chest. Acid, blood combination as she is shot off her feet back into the cabinets behind her, and the body hits the floor.
If I'm able to, I imagine she just keeps taking the same water, like almost in like an infinity symbol, and just keeps blasting her, like up, boosh, up, down, boosh.
Well, you can on your turn. She's not quite down yet.
Okay, I wasn't sure if she was like down and over.
Okay. You do your first big water cannon, and you watch as she's blasted off of her feet, hits the wall, goes to the floor. You look, and it's not her laying on the floor anymore. You see someone taller, broader shoulders, in a green hooded jacket.
Fuck you, James.
Laying face down on the floor.
Fuck you, James. Am I supposed to do something?
What do you want to do?
I imagine she's gonna... Did this hooded figure take the place of this chick?
Yes.
I imagine Remi's gonna just essentially like yell out loud, "This isn't real," and then start the infinity loop and bash into this body on the floor again.
Okay.
As she's doing this, it's like a mix now of like angry and sad tears, because now she is starting to like understand she's going to fucking end up attacking all of her friends.
Mm-hmm.
And just like yelling at herself, this isn't real, to like keep going, even though she doesn't want to.
Okay. Give me another water cannon.
Okay, that's an 11 plus 8, 19.
Okay. So you do hit.
Okay, that was my next question.
All right. And the, excuse me, the figure stands, and you see Hood standing before you.
No, I do not. I don't know what you talk about. It's happy fun time here.
Remi. Why?
I blast him again, James! Just keep the infinity loop, and she's keeping, like, just keeps yelling at herself, "This isn't real, this isn't real." Like, screaming it at this point.
Give me another check.
Never thought I would hate rolling attacks as much. That was a little bit worse. It's starting to get to her. That's an 8 plus 8, 16.
You missed.
Yep. I sort of thought that.
Yep. All right. Hood, kind of stumbles over, holding his chest, like kind of nursing a wound. He stumbles over and he's standing, looking you in the eye. Why would you betray me like this? And he collapses. Give me a will save.
Okay, I was about to say, if anything, Remi has closed her eyes and is holding them tight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, will save. Here we go. Come on, dice. That's not bad. 11 plus 8, 19.
Okay.
I like this neon dice. Mwah.
All right. You're still aware that this is still a dream. This is not the real Hood.
Okay.
But Hood has now joined the bodies on the floor. As the hooded woman returns to the scene, she is slightly wet, looking a little worse for wear. So, you do not want your old life, and yet you refuse to face reality.
I hate you, James. I've never hated a DM more in my life.
So, what is it then? Will you die alone? And she charges you. She's gonna make an attack.
Okay.
That sucked. That was an 11 to hit you.
Are you going for dodge or parry?
That was a parry, and neither
Whoa. Yeah, I was about to say, because neither hit, bitch, because I'm untouchable.
hit. Yeah. So, yeah, she charges you, misses her attack. All right, it's your turn. What are you doing?
Okay, is she all up in my business?
Yeah.
Okay, would I be able to, like, water ball, like, boxing gloves on my hands and use hand to hand? Would I be able to do that?
I'll allow it.
Even though hand to hand has lower stats compared to water ball?
You would still use your close combat skill, but yeah.
Yeah, I would use my hand to hand. That's why I was saying I would rather use my hand to hand and fight this bitch head on than use ranged attack.
Okay.
Like, the gloves have come up, and I imagine she pulls up a mix of acid and her dad, mom's, and Hood's blood, and is just starting to go at this chick, like, full-on Hood kung fu style.
Okay.
All right, so roll for hand-to-hand. That is a 17 plus 6, whatever that number is.
23. So you do hit.
Yeah. Switch out that dice because I want to have a good story.
You do hit, but it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. She barely seems fazed by it. You do hit. You bring your fist covered in liquid up to her jaw, and you punch her, and she staggers just a little bit, and she comes back, and she goes for an attack against you. Yeah, no, that is a 13
To hit my dodge?
to hit your parry.
To hit my parry. When does dodge come into play, man?
In ranged combat.
That's what you said about parry.
No, parry is close combat.
I'm so confused. I just roll with it.
All right. So, yep. So she misses. Your turn.
So, James, I want to ask real fast. When it comes to a certain point, will I be able to, and we can take this out if we need to, can I actually bloodbend her like Yama and Katara? Like Hama and Katara, sorry.
No.
No, okay. I can just control the blood for right now. I cannot control blood inside human body for now.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, changing what I was going to try to do. So I'm going to keep attacking. Hand to hand, baby.
All right. Go ahead for another hit.
That is a 14 plus 6, dirty 20.
Okay. You do hit. Your left hand comes back, your right hand goes in. She, once again, doesn't seem very phased by this as you come in. She staggers backward just a tad, doesn't seem damaged by it. And she is going to... Let me see what she can do. Oh, excuse me.
What's she gonna do with that Klondike bar?
She is actually going to go for an attack, and that's a little better. That is a 19.
Oh, just barely.
Yep. So she comes in and she kicks you. She leans back, kicks you right square in your stomach. I need you to give me a toughness check.
Okay. Luckily, I've been putting some points into toughness. Ooh, not that good. 6 plus 5, 11. Switching out that dice.
All right.
I take 1 bad point.
Yes, you just barely avoided 2.
Ooh, so 1 injury. A jump.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And remember, that does take 1 against your toughness.
Yeah, it just went down automatically.
Yep.
They fixed it.
Yeah. All right. So.
All right, James. What I would like to do is I would like to summon more water barrels.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like to blast some ass.
Okay.
So would I need to make like an intelligence check and then a water cannon? Because she dismissed my water barrels before.
So, real quick, since she got you... Okay, so you're going to... I'm sorry, what were you doing again?
I would like to try to summon water barrels to give me a little bit more pack for my punch and try to water cannon her, but I understand if I can do that in the same turn.
Give me an intellect check, see if you can summon it.
That's what I was asking, like if I had to do an intellect check first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a 15 plus 5, dirty 20. I've been switching out all of my dice to make sure that I don't have loaded dice. Yep. What is this?
So, a couple water barrels appear at your side. And I will consider that a bonus action. So go ahead and roll for your cannon.
All right, the infinity loop is back on, bitches. That is a 12 plus 8, another dirty 20.
All right.
James, I don't know. I think the dice want you to lose.
Oh, they always do. Okay. So that's your water cannon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you bring the water from the barrels up. It forms in a ball in front of you, combining with the acid and the blood pool, just creating this weird amalgamation of liquid. And you push your arms forward, and this water goes out like a water hose, hits her square in the chest.
Yeah.
She flies backward.
Yeah.
Launched off of her feet, hits the wall, and you watch as the wall shatters behind her. The illusion disappears. You see her face. A mixture of shock, disbelief, and a little bit of fear as she disappears.
Does anything happen?
You're standing in a black void. And then suddenly the image of the lab reappears. But it's not your last memory of the lab. Now it's lit, and you hear chemicals bubbling, fires burning. You can smell old books and various like fragrances around the lab.
Mm-hmm.
It's your parents' lab in action as it was, as you remember it throughout your life.
Okay.
And standing in front of you is your mother.
Of course.
You have done so well, mon ami. I am so proud of you. What are you doing?
I keep my distance because I, an intellectual now of the dream world, don't trust fucking anything.
Okay. She takes a step forward. Your favorite meal is macaroni and cheese, made from my grandmother's recipe.
Ooh.
When you were 5 years old, you wore your bowl of macaroni and cheese on your head like a hat. When you were 10, it was the only thing that could console you after a fight with your father. When you were 15, and your father read your mind, you hated him in that moment. Believe me, Remi, when I say, it is me.
All right.
Give me an insight check.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Can I roll an insight, James? Since I'm crying. It's my fucking insight. +5. That's an 11 plus 5, 16.
You're used to dark presences in this world. This is not one of them.
Ooh. This is my mother's ghost, for she is dead.
I am so proud of you, mon ami.
Remi still doesn't trust it. People can fake auras.
Mm-hmm. I know you probably don't trust this. She takes your hand. Just know that my love goes with you.
Oh, well, fuck you too, James. All right. What's up?
And she disappears. And the lab fades. You're standing in a dark void once again.
Okay.
And that is where we're going to call this episode.
All right.